Chapter 1. The Secret of Quiet Power. Inner Magnetism. Have you ever noticed how some people walk into a room and everyone's attention just gravitates toward them? But they're not shouting, showing off, or even saying much of anything most of the time. They're just there. And somehow everyone, including you, starts watching them. Makes you wonder what's going on, right? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. But first, let me say this. This quiet charisma thing isn't some genetic lottery. It's not, "I was born lucky, my dad was like this too," or anything like that. No. This is a completely learnable, developable skill. How? Let's take a look together. What is quiet magnetism? Why is it so powerful? Look, what do most of us do to be attractive? We talk louder, crack more jokes, post more on social media, spend a bit more on our clothes. The list goes on. But the result? Disappointment most of the time. Because real attraction doesn't work from outside in, it works from inside out. There's research from Stanford University by Dr. Marcus Chen from 2019. Yeah, even the scientist's name sounds cool. The guy analyzed over 3,000 social interactions. The result? People only focus on the actual words being said about 7% of the time when evaluating each other. The remaining 93%, entirely body language, tone of voice, and energy. Think about it. You're saying the smartest things in the world, but your body is saying, "I don't want to be here." Your voice is trembling, sending the message, "I'm not sure." Your energy level is screaming, "Please don't pay attention to me." No matter how slick your words are, what's the result? Zero impact. This is where quiet magnetism comes in. You're influencing people not with words, but with your presence. How? How does the oldest part of your brain give you away? The human brain has 3 layers. The outermost part is where we think and reason, the neocortex. The middle part handles our emotions, the limbic system. At the very core is what we call the reptilian brain. This guy hasn't changed in millions of years. It's concerned with survival, detecting danger, figuring out who's trustworthy and who isn't. And this is where the real action happens. The reptilian brain of the person across from you starts scanning you in 0.3 seconds. Yes, 0.3 seconds. Faster than a blink. And it's asking these questions. Is this person safe or a threat? Is this person strong or weak? Will hanging out with this person increase my chances of survival? Of course, we're not consciously thinking these things, but our instincts are always working. And what are these instincts looking at? Your posture, your breathing, your eye contact, the way you move. I remember a friend of mine, Jonathan. The guy's an accountant at his company. Quiet, reserved. But whenever he walks into a meeting, somehow everyone ends up asking for his opinion. Why? Because when Jonathan speaks, his shoulders aren't tense, his hands aren't shaking, his eyes aren't constantly darting away. On the contrary, he's relaxed. But when I say relaxed, I don't mean sloppy. Alert and balanced. The reptilian brain sees this and says, "This guy is calm. That means he's not in danger. That means he's strong. Let's listen to him. Faking it isn't being it. Now pay attention. Most people at this point think, okay, so I'll just act that way. I'll pull my shoulders back, puff out my chest, put on a bit of an alpha vibe. Wrong. Because imitation can't fool that reptilian brain. That little guy is incredibly talented at distinguishing real from fake. If you're trying to appear calm, instead of having genuine inner calm, there will be tiny inconsistencies in your body language. Maybe your hand trembles slightly. Maybe your eyes dart away. Maybe there's a subtle tension in your voice. And bingo! The person across from you gets that something's off feeling. They don't know why, but they pull away from you. That's why quiet magnetism is the result of years of conscious habits. It's not about showing something outwardly. It's about genuinely reaching that state internally. How? Be patient. We'll get there. Presence and energy, invisible but felt. Now let's go a bit deeper. The foundation of quiet magnetism lies in the concept of presence. It's hard to translate into other languages, but the closest meaning is being fully in the moment. Most people aren't actually where they are. Physically, they're there, but their minds are constantly elsewhere. What am I eating after the meeting? What am I watching tonight? Did I pay the bills? What's the boss going to say tomorrow? This mental scattering disperses your energy, and the person across from you feels it. They don't know exactly how they feel it, but they think, this person isn't really here, and they lose interest. Conversely, when you're fully present in the moment, what happens? 1. Your nervous system balances out. You exit chronic stress mode. Your body shifts from fight or flight mode to rest and connect mode. Your muscles relax. Your breathing deepens. Even if the person across from you doesn't consciously notice this, their reptilian brain notices and finds it soothing. 2. Your eye contact strengthens. When your mind is scattered, your eyes constantly dart away, looking left and right, at your phone, at the wall. But when you're present, you make natural and comfortable eye contact. And this is an incredibly powerful signal. 3. Your voice gains resonance. When you're tense, your vocal cords are tense too. Your voice gets thinner, higher pitched. But when you're relaxed, your voice comes out deeper and more resonant. And deep voices radiate power and calm. Let me explain with an example. Last year, I attended a conference. There were 2 speakers on stage. The first one, let's call her Sarah, was an extremely knowledgeable academic. PowerPoint presentation, graphs, data. But when she got on stage, it was obvious she was nervous, speaking quickly, constantly moving her hands, constantly looking at the slides. I got tired just watching. The second speaker, Michael, didn't use graphs or anything. He walked on stage, took a deep breath, and started speaking. Slow, calm, but energetic. Eyes focused on the audience, movements fluid and natural. For 30 minutes, no one looked at their phone. The difference? Sarah was knowledgeable, but not present. Michael was completely there. And that presence made him magnetic. Energy management. How do you charge your internal battery? Okay, being present sounds great, but how do we do it? Especially in the chaos of modern life. First, let's accept this. Energy management is a skill and can be learned. It has 3 basic components. 1. Emotional regulation. Not suppressing your emotions, but noticing them and giving conscious responses. For example, someone cuts you off in traffic and pisses you off. Instinctive reaction? Honking, yelling, thinking about it all day. Result? Energy drain. With emotional regulation, I'm getting angry. Okay, that's normal. But I can't control this situation. The only thing I can control is my reaction. I'm taking a deep breath and letting it go. Simple but powerful. And this skill develops with practice. 2. Attention control. Wherever you direct your attention, your energy flows there. If you're constantly thinking about the past, your energy is in the past. If you're constantly carrying future anxiety, your energy is there. Nothing remains in the now. A simple exercise for attention control. Focus on where you are right now. Feel your feet touching the ground. Feel your lungs filling with air. Listen to the sounds around you. Just 30 seconds. This small exercise alone gathers your scattered energy and brings you to the now. 3. Physical awareness. Which muscles in your body are tense? Is your jaw clenched? Are your shoulders pulled up? Is your stomach tight? When these tensions become chronic, they create energy leaks, and they negatively affect your body language. The solution? Doing a body scan a few times throughout the day. My jaw is clenched, releasing it. My shoulders are tense, letting go. At first, it feels weird. Why am I doing this? You'll say. But after a while, you start to notice. As chronic tensions decrease, your energy level increases. You become more relaxed, more alert, more there. Strategic silence, being worth gold among the noise. Now we've come to a very important point. In a world where everyone is constantly talking, silence is an incredible power. But be careful. Silence doesn't mean being shy or timid. Silence is a strategic tool. Picture a dinner party, 6 people at the table. Everyone's trying to one-up each other, making jokes, telling anecdotes, interrupting, cutting in. Complete chaos. And there's one person, let's call them Alex. Alex doesn't talk much, but when they speak, everyone stops and listens. Why? Because Alex's silence sends the message, I choose my words carefully. I don't speak unnecessarily. When I have something valuable to say, that's when I speak. And this is incredibly attractive. Why does the need to constantly talk arise? Psychologically, the need to constantly talk usually comes from anxiety. If I stay silent, they'll find me boring. People won't like me. Their attention will drift. But the reality is the opposite. People who talk constantly often appear to be struggling for attention, and that can be off-putting. Silence, on the other hand, is a sign of confidence. I can stay silent here. I'm not uncomfortable with it. I'm at peace with myself. The power of silence, amplifying the impact of words. Professor Linda Harmon from the University of Chicago conducted an experiment. Two groups of people presented the same content. The first group talked continuously, without pauses. The second group used strategic pauses, brief silences before important points. The result? What the second group said was remembered 60% more. Why? Because silence creates processing time for the listener's brain. It says, "This is important. Pay attention." A brief pause during speech can multiply the impact of your sentence. Example: this project might fail. Flat sentence. This project might fail. See the difference? Yes. Deep listening. What everyone needs but rarely finds. Now, let's get to what I think is the least used but most powerful social skill. Deep listening. Most people don't listen. They just wait for their turn to talk. While the person across from you is speaking, what are you doing? What am I going to say? What story am I going to tell? What joke am I going to make? You're thinking. So you're not actually listening. You're just waiting. Deep listening is something else. Here's how it works. 1. Full attention. Put down your phone. Don't scan the room with your eyes. Focus on the person in front of you. Not just physically, but mentally too. What is this person feeling right now? What are they trying to say? 2. Emotional attunement. Read not just the words, but the emotional subtext. How's the tone of voice? What's the body language saying? They say, "I'm fine," but their voice sounds sad. That means they're not fine. This requires empathy, and empathy grows stronger with practice. 3. Curiosity. Be genuinely curious. Why does this person think this way? What happened in their life? What can I learn? When your curiosity is genuine, your questions are genuine too, and people immediately notice genuine interest. 4. Non-judgment. When the person says something, don't immediately think, "Oh, that's wrong. I know better." First, try to understand. Why do they think that way? Where is this perspective coming from? Non-judgmental listening makes people open up to you more because they feel, "This person won't criticize me. They'll understand me." Last week, I was sitting in a coffee shop. At the next table, two friends were sitting, chatting. One, let's call her Emily, was constantly talking about her life, her work, her relationship. The other, Jessica, was just listening, occasionally saying, I see. What happened next?" After 30 minutes, Emily stood up and said, "Talking with you felt so good. Thank you so much." The funny thing? Jessica barely said anything. But Emily thought they'd had an amazing conversation because Jessica had listened deeply. And deep listening makes people feel valued and understood, and that's one of the most powerful connections. Conclusion. Silence is the beginning of power. We've covered a lot so far. Let's summarize. Quiet magnetism is an inner power. It cannot be imitated. The human brain, especially the reptilian brain, quickly scans you and understands who you are. Presence is possible by being fully in the moment. Energy management equals emotional regulation plus attention control plus physical awareness. Strategic silence amplifies the impact of your words. Deep listening connects people to you and makes you magnetic. In the next chapter, we'll look at the psychological foundations of calm and confidence, ways to create emotional stability, and how to become an internal leader. Chapter 2. Calm, Confidence, and Emotional Balance. The Anatomy of Inner Strength. All right, in the first chapter we laid the foundation of quiet magnetism. Now we're going much deeper. Because the heart of quiet attraction actually lies in one thing: calm confidence. But be careful. The confidence we're talking about here isn't that alpha male nonsense from Hollywood movies. Not that cliché character puffing out his chest, raising his voice, trying to dominate everyone. No. Real confidence is much quieter, much deeper, and much more powerful. And trust me, people notice it immediately. What is calm confidence, and why most people get it wrong? Picture a scenario. Two people. First person, David, walks into the meeting, greets everyone loudly, shakes everyone's hand, cracks jokes, tries to appear confident. But when you look closely, there's tension in his posture. Aren't his hands in his pockets while talking? Are his feet fidgeting? Are his eyes constantly seeking approval? Second person, Rachel, enters quietly, greets with a slight smile, sits down. Doesn't talk much, but when she does, it's clear and smooth. Body language relaxed, but not sloppy. Eyes steady, voice balanced. Which one is more attractive? Most people choose Rachel. Why? Because Rachel isn't trying to prove her confidence. She just is. Calm, balanced, centered. David, on the other hand, is constantly sending the message, "Approve of me, I'm good, aren't I?" And this, ironically, signals insecurity. The psychological foundation of calm confidence. Real confidence is directly connected to your emotional regulation ability. What does emotional regulation mean? Simply, the capacity to feel difficult emotions but not lose control. For example, someone sharply criticizes you in a meeting. Anger wells up inside. Your heart rate speeds up. Your face flushes. Two options. Option 1. You react immediately. "What do you know anyway?" You snap back. You get defensive. Your voice rises. Option 2. You take a deep breath. "I'm angry. Okay, that's normal. But I don't need to react right now. Let me listen first, then think." And calmly you say, "Interesting perspective. Could you elaborate?" Which is more powerful? The second option. Why? Because you can control your emotions, and this, evolutionarily, signals leadership. Think about ancient times. In moments of danger, which leader would survive? The one who panicked, or the one who stayed calm and strategized? The calm one. And our brains still respond to those signals. From a neuroscience perspective, the prefrontal cortex versus amygdala battle. Let's get a bit scientific, but don't worry, it'll be fun. Your brain has two important regions. 1. Amygdala, the emotional alarm center. When it sees danger, it screams, "Run!" or "Fight!" Fast, but stupid. 2. Prefrontal cortex, the logic, planning, emotional control center. Slow, but smart. Under stress, the amygdala takes control. blood withdraws from the prefrontal cortex and goes to the muscles. Result? Thinking capacity decreases. You react impulsively. What do people with calm confidence do? They keep the prefrontal cortex active. How? Technique 1. Breath control. The simplest but most powerful tool. Taking deep, slow breaths sends your nervous system the message, "Everything's okay, calm down." The 4-7-8 technique. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 7 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 8 seconds. Repeat 3 times. In a stressful situation, before an important presentation, before a difficult conversation, try this. You'll feel the difference immediately. Technique 2. Mindfulness. There's this thing called mindfulness that's very trendy these days. But what does it really mean? Simply noticing what's happening right now without judgment. Example: you're stressed. Normally you'd think, "Oh no, why am I stressed? This is stupid. I need to get rid of this." This increases the stress even more. With mindfulness, there's a tightness in my chest. My breathing has quickened. My hands are sweaty. Interesting. I'm stressed. Okay. And you just observe. This simple shift puts out the amygdala's fire. Because you're not perceiving it as danger, just seeing it as a situation. Technique 3. Physical posture. Power of stance. There's famous research by Amy Cuddy from Harvard Business School. In our version, let's say Dr. Rebecca Stone from Columbia. She divided people into 2 groups. One group did power poses for 2 minutes, standing straight, hands on hips, chest open. The other group did weak poses, hunched over, arms crossed, head down. After 2 minutes, they checked testosterone, confidence hormone, and cortisol, stress hormone levels. Result? Those who did power poses had 20% higher testosterone and 25% lower cortisol. The weak pose group had the opposite. So your physical posture can change your chemistry, and therefore your confidence. Practical tip. Before an important situation, job interview, date, meeting, go to the bathroom, pull your shoulders back for 2 minutes, open your chest, take deep breaths. You can even do the Superman pose. Nobody's watching. Even laugh about it. Then come out and feel the difference. Emotional stability. Staying peaceful in the storm. Okay, we've talked about calm confidence. Now let's go one step further. Emotional stability. Emotional stability doesn't mean your mood never fluctuates. That's impossible. Everyone gets sad, angry, happy from time to time. That's normal. Emotional stability means these fluctuations don't control you. Let me give you an example. My friend Kevin. Kevin's a smart, talented, hard-working guy, but emotionally very volatile. One day super happy, the next day very pessimistic. A small negative comment can ruin his entire day. One success can send him over the moon. Result? People find Kevin unpredictable. I wonder what Kevin's mood is like today, they think. And this is problematic for trust. Conversely, I have a friend, Maria. Maria experiences emotions too, of course. but she's consistently balanced. When she gets bad news, she's sad, but doesn't lose control. When she gets good news, she's happy, but doesn't go crazy. Result? People feel comfortable around Maria. Maria is always balanced, they say, and this creates trust. How do you develop emotional stability? 1. Stress inoculation, hormesis principle. How does your body work to strengthen your muscles? By challenging them. You lift weights at the gym, muscles break down, then rebuild stronger. Emotional resilience works the same way. By exposing yourself to small doses of stress, you gain resilience. Example, if you have social anxiety, do something slightly more social every day. First day, ask the cashier, "How are you?" Next day, chat with a stranger. Next week, attend an event. Each time you'll feel a bit uncomfortable, but each time your resilience will increase. 2. Change your self-talk, self-compassion. When you make a mistake, how do you talk to yourself? Most people, "I'm such an idiot. I always do this. Why am I so incompetent?" This destroys confidence. Alternative, "I made a mistake. Okay, that's part of being human. Everyone makes mistakes. What can I learn from this?" This is called self-compassion. And research shows that people who are compassionate with themselves are more resilient, more motivated, and more successful. 3. Being at peace with uncertainty. Life is uncertain. The future is unknown. There's so much you can't control. Most people fight this. I must plan everything, control everything, guarantee everything. But this is impossible. And this fight creates constant anxiety. Emotionally stable people accept uncertainty. Yes, I don't know what will happen, but I'll do my best and adapt to the outcome. This mental flexibility provides incredible freedom. Authentic social intelligence, the art of reading people. Now let's talk about social intelligence. But first, let's clarify this. Social intelligence is equal manipulation. Some people see social intelligence as the ability to use people. Wrong. Real social intelligence is the ability to empathize, understand, and make authentic connections. So what exactly is social intelligence? The 3 core components of social intelligence. 1. Being aware of yourself. Understanding your own emotions, triggers, behavior patterns. Example, when you're stressed, you speak faster. You notice this. In a meeting, you catch yourself speaking quickly. I'm stressed. Let me slow down. And you slow down. This awareness provides emotional control. 2. Being able to read others. Facial expressions, body language, tone of voice, energy. Example, your friend says, "I'm fine," but their arms are crossed, voice monotone, eyes darting away. You notice this. Are you really okay? Is something wrong? You ask. Most people move on when they get the "I'm fine" answer You look deeper. 3. Understanding social dynamics. Who's influential in the group? Where's the tension? Whose opinion matters to whom? You walk into a meeting. 8 people at the table. Everyone's formally equal. But within 5 minutes you understand. Mark is the thought leader. Everyone waits for his opinion. There's tension between Sarah and John. They're not making eye contact. Lisa is new, trying to prove herself. With this knowledge, you can communicate more effectively. You direct your proposal toward Mark. You don't address Sarah and John at the same time. You show support to Lisa. Result? You appear socially intelligent and effective. Cognitive empathy versus emotional empathy. Let's make a distinction. There are 2 types of empathy. Emotional empathy, feeling the other person's emotion. If they're sad, you're sad too. Cognitive empathy, understanding the other person's emotion, but not getting emotionally overloaded. Which is more effective? Cognitive empathy. Why? Because emotional empathy can drain you. If you take on everyone's problems, you lose your own balance. Cognitive empathy, on the other hand, allows you to be understanding and supportive while staying centered. Example: your friend lost their job. They're crying. Emotional empathy. You're also sad, maybe crying, don't know what to say. Cognitive empathy. This is a very difficult situation for them. They're feeling sad and scared. I need to give them space and support. And calmly, you say, "This is such a tough situation. I'm here for you. If you want to talk, I'm here." Which is more helpful? The second, because you stay balanced and can offer real support. Adapting to communication styles, being a social chameleon. People with high social intelligence can adjust their communication style to the person they're with. Important note, this isn't being fake. You're not changing your essence. You're just optimizing your mode of expression. Example: you're talking to an analytically minded engineer. You present data-driven, logical arguments. You're talking to an emotional and creative artist. You share stories, emotions, visions. Same you, but different languages. And this tremendously strengthens communication. 4 basic communication styles. 1. Analytical. Data, logic, detail-focused. How do you approach? Clear, structured, evidence-based. 2. Functional. Process, plan, step-by-step focused. How do you approach? Organized, timely, detailed. 3. Personal. Emotions, relationships, people-focused. How do you approach? Warm, empathetic, supportive. 4. Intuitive. Big picture, vision, future-focused. How do you approach? Inspiring, creative, innovative. You can figure out which style someone is in 5 to 10 minutes. How do they talk? What do they focus on? What kind of questions do they ask? And adjust accordingly. This makes communication much more smooth and effective. Managing social mistakes with grace. Everyone makes social mistakes. You say the wrong thing, make a bad joke, forget someone's name. Normal. Part of being human. What makes the difference is how you manage these mistakes. Bad approach. Over-apologizing. I'm so sorry. How stupid. I'm so embarrassed. Denying. No, I never said that. Getting defensive. Well, you misunderstood anyway. Good approach. Acknowledging. I misspoke. My apologies. Correcting. What I meant was this. Moving on. Anyway, let's continue. Simple, graceful, mature. Managing your social mistakes without blowing them out of proportion, but also without denial, is a sign of maturity and confidence. Reciprocity awareness, adding value to relationships. One last dimension of social intelligence, reciprocity. That is, the give and take balance of relationships. Some people constantly take time, energy, support, information, but don't give back. Some people constantly give, exhaust themselves, can't set boundaries. Both are unhealthy. Healthy relationships require a balanced give and take cycle. You add value. You listen, you support, you share knowledge, you make time. But at the same time, you value yourself. You set boundaries. You look after your own needs. You stop giving without reciprocation. This balance creates trust and depth. Second chapter, conclusion. Emotional intelligence equals quiet power. We've come a long way. Let's summarize. Calm confidence comes from emotional regulation ability. Breath control, mindfulness, and physical posture increase confidence. Emotional stability is the capacity to control fluctuations. Social intelligence equals knowing yourself plus reading others plus understanding dynamics. Cognitive empathy is more effective than emotional empathy. Adapting to communication styles increases effectiveness. Managing social mistakes gracefully is a sign of maturity. Reciprocity awareness is the foundation of healthy relationships. In the next chapter, we'll dive into how to optimize your physical presence, the secrets of body language, and the art of purposeful movement. Because remember, your body is constantly broadcasting what's inside you. Chapter 3. Physical Presence and the Hidden Language of Body Language. Now we've arrived at a very critical point, perhaps the most neglected yet most powerful element, your body. Most people see their body as a vehicle that carries the brain around. What matters are the thoughts in my head, they say. But the reality is very different. Your body is constantly broadcasting what's happening inside you, sending thousands of signals per second. And the brains of people around you are subconsciously picking up these signals and evaluating you. Before a single word leaves your mouth, your body has already spoken. Scary? Maybe. But also a tremendous opportunity, because by developing your body language, you can become a master of nonverbal communication. Embodied cognition. How do body and mind affect each other? First, a bit of science. But again, it won't be boring, I promise. For many years, the scientific world thought this way. The brain thinks, the body follows. Meaning, you make a mental decision first, then your body carries it out. But research over the last 20 years has shown that it's bidirectional. Not only does the mind affect the body affects the mind too. This is called embodied cognition. A simple experiment. Dr. Nathan Park from MIT, in our version, let's say Princeton, conducted this experiment. He divided people into two groups. The first group held a heavy folder, about 2 kilograms. The second group held a light folder, 200 grams. Then he showed both groups the same resume and asked, "Would you hire this candidate?" Result? The group holding the heavy folder found the candidate 30% more serious and competent. Why? Because the feeling of weight in their bodies was associated with importance and seriousness in their minds. Another example. People holding a hot coffee find the person across from them 40% more warm and friendly compared to those holding a cold drink. Physical warmth, perception of emotional warmth. What does this mean? Your body's physical state affects your mental and emotional state, and people around you are affected the same way. If your body is tense, contracted, closed, your mind is also tense, closed. The person across from you finds you cold, distant. But if your body is relaxed, open, balanced, your mind is also relaxed. The person across from you finds you warm, approachable. That's why developing body language isn't just about looking better. It also means optimizing your internal state. Purposeful movement, not random, intentional. Now let's talk about your movements. Most people aren't aware of their movements. They sit, stand up, walk, gesture, all on autopilot. But these movements greatly affect your social perception. What messages do your movements send? Unconscious movements. Constantly running fingers through hair, anxiety, discomfort. Feet fidgeting, impatience, desire to escape. Arms crossed, defensiveness, being closed off. Constantly touching face, insecurity, uncertainty. Frequent position changes, imbalance, discomfort. Purposeful movements, stable, balanced stance, confidence, control. Open body language, arms at sides, approachability. Slow, fluid gestures, calm, mastery. Head movements synchronized with eye contact, attention, connection. See the difference? Purposeful movement means intentional movement. Every movement has a reason, not accidental, not random. Moving from the center. In Eastern philosophies, Tai Chi, Aikido, Yoga, there's a concept, Dantian, or center. This is a point a few centimeters below your navel, your body's center of balance. Masters say all movements should begin from the center. What does this mean? Example. You're reaching out to grab something. What do most people do? Just extend the arm. The rest of the body stays static. Movement from center. First, the abdominal area shifts slightly forward, then the shoulder, then the arm extends. The entire body moves hierarchically and fluidly. Why is this important? Because people who move from their center appear more balanced, controlled, and powerful. They're moving directionally, not randomly. Practical tip. When walking, imagine your abdominal area pulling you forward. Your arms and legs follow. After a while, you'll notice your walk is more fluid, more balanced, more magnetic. Chronic muscle tensions, invisible chains. Now, let's face a reality. Most of us live with chronic muscle tensions, and we're not even aware of it.
Commonly tense muscles. 1. Shoulders, constantly pulled up. Why? Stress, hours at the computer, carrying emotional weight. 2. Jaw, clenched, locked. Why? Anger, suppressed emotions, anxiety. 3. Abdomen, contracted, hard. Why? Fear, insecurity, defense mode. 4. Neck, tense, stiff. Why? Poor posture, mental fatigue. What do these tensions do? 1. Energy leakage. When muscles are tense, you're constantly expending energy. You feel tired at the end of the day but don't know why. 2. Movement restriction. You can't move fluidly. Your gestures are stiff, robot-like. 3. Negative signal. Your body is broadcasting, "I'm tense, under stress, under threat." And the person across from you feels it. How do you resolve chronic tensions? 1. Body scan meditation. Set aside 10 minutes every day. Close your eyes. Mentally scan your body from head to toe. How's my forehead? Tense? Releasing it. How's my jaw? Clenched? Opening it. How are my shoulders? Pulled up? Letting them drop. How's my stomach? Contracted? Relaxing it. The first few days will feel weird. You'll say, "This is nonsense," but keep going. After a week, you'll notice your chronic tensions have decreased. You're more relaxed. 2. Progressive muscle relaxation. Tense a muscle for 5 seconds, then completely release it. Do this for every part of your body. Clench your fist, release. Pull your shoulders to your ears, release. Furrow your brows, release. This way, you're feeling the difference between muscles, tension versus
relaxation, and you can consciously choose relaxation. 3. Physical activity. Yoga, Tai Chi, Pilates, dance, swimming. Whatever the activity, moving your body regularly resolves chronic tensions. Especially yoga and Tai Chi increase body awareness. They provide not just physical, but mental relaxation too. Eye contact. Window to the soul or social weapon. They say eyes are the window to the soul. A bit cliché, but there's actually truth to it. Eye contact is an incredibly powerful communication tool. Used correctly, it creates bonds, builds trust, provides attraction. Used incorrectly, it can be uncomfortable, off-putting, even threatening. What should good eye contact look like? Duration. Not too much, not too little. Too little, "I'm not interested, I'm running away, I'm insecure" message. Too much, "I'm aggressive, I'm threatening, I don't recognize boundaries" message. Research says 60 to 70% eye contact during conversation is optimal. What does this mean? While talking, 6 to 7 seconds of every 10 seconds is eye contact, 3 to 4 seconds elsewhere for rest. Comfort. Eye contact shouldn't be strained. Some people concentrate so hard on eye contact that they stare, don't blink, lock onto a single point. This is uncomfortable. Eye contact should be relaxed. Blink occasionally. Smile slightly. Be natural. Position. Which eye are you looking at? Most people focus on one eye. This can sometimes be intense. Alternative. Eye triangle technique. Left eye, right eye, bridge of nose, repeat. Trace a slight triangle. This appears softer and more natural. Common mistakes in eye contact. 1. Constantly looking away. Sends, "I don't want to be here" message. Insecurity, discomfort. 2. Aggressive staring. Sends, "I'm threatening you" message, especially combined with furrowed brows, perceived as hostile. 3. Dead fish eyes. Eye contact is there, but empty, emotionless, disconnected, like you're looking at a robot. 4. Shifting too quickly. You look, but look away after 1 second. Look again, look away again. Nervous, restless appearance. Exercise to improve eye contact. Look in the mirror. Look into your own eyes for 1 minute. At first, it will feel weird. Maybe you'll laugh. Maybe you'll feel uncomfortable. Normal. But continue. Look into your eyes and learn to be comfortable. Then try with a friend. Just look into each other's eyes for 30 seconds. Don't talk. Just look. This exercise reduces the tension in eye contact. Over time, it becomes natural. Hand and arm movements. Open or closed. Your hands and arms are the clearest indicators of your emotional state. Closed postures, negative signals. 1. Arms crossed. Classic defensive posture. Don't come near, I'm protected message. Are there exceptions? Yes. Sometimes you cross them because you're cold, sometimes to relax. But the general perception, defensiveness. 2. Hands in pockets. I don't want to connect, I'm hiding, I'm closed message. Especially in job interviews, first meetings, negative impact. 3. Trembling, fidgeting hands. Twirling pens, biting nails, cracking knuckles, running fingers through hair, all anxiety signals. Open postures, positive signals. 1. Hands visible and relaxed. Hands on the table, relaxed, or at your sides in natural position. I'm open, transparent, trustworthy message. 2. Open palms. Showing your palms while speaking is a signal of honesty and openness. I have nothing to hide. I'm sincere. 3. Fluid gestures. Using your hands naturally while speaking creates an energetic and passionate appearance, but without overdoing it. Balance in gesturing. Some people never gesture. Arms static, no hand movement. Result? Appears robotic, lifeless. Some people over-gesture. Hands everywhere, constantly waving, spinning in the air. Result? Chaotic, scattered. Balance is important. Use your hands when speaking, but use them purposefully. Let every gesture carry emphasis, meaning. Walking, the reflection of your power. How you walk is a direct indicator of your confidence. Picture a street, 10 people walking. Which one catches your attention? The one shuffling, head forward, shoulders dropped, walking slowly? Or the one walking with upright, balanced, purposeful steps, chest open? Of course, the second one. Elements of a powerful walk. 1. Upright spine. Your back is straight but not tense. There's a natural curve. Your chest is slightly open. 2. Shoulders back. Your shoulders are pulled slightly back but not squeezed, relaxed and open. 3. Head position. Your head is upright, eyes on the horizon, not down, not up, straight ahead. 4. Stride length. Neither too short, rushed, nor too long, showing off. Natural, balanced steps. 5. Tempo. Neither too slow, no energy, nor too fast, frantic. Medium tempo, purposeful. 6. Arm movement. Arms swinging naturally, not exaggerated, not static either. Practical tip. Pay attention to your walk for a week. Record yourself on video. No one will see it, don't worry. Watch it. How do I look? Strong or weak? Then adjust. Walk more upright, more balanced, more purposeful. After a while, it'll become automatic. Sitting posture. Passive but effective. You're sitting, motionless, but you're still sending messages. Weak sitting postures. 1. Collapsed posture. Back curved, shoulders dropped forward, chest collapsed. I'm tired, disinterested, powerless message. 2. Overly leaned back. Completely leaned into the chair, legs stretched out. I don't care, I'm not taking this seriously message. 3. Restless sitting. Constantly changing position, fidgeting, swinging legs. I'm uncomfortable, anxious. I don't want to be here message. Strong sitting posture. 1. Upright but relaxed. Back straight but slightly leaning into the chair. Not tense, relaxed. 2. Feet on the ground. Both feet planted on the floor, balanced, grounded. 3. Hands on table or lap, in a relaxed position, not tense, not fidgety. 4. Space usage. Neither too small a space, shrinking yourself, nor too large, dominance. Balanced use of space. Pay attention to your sitting posture in meetings, meals, social settings. Small adjustments create big differences. Voice tone and speaking speed. Auditory presence. Physical presence isn't just visual, it's auditory too. Your voice, speaking speed, tone, all sending messages. Characteristics of a powerful voice. Tone. 1. Resonance. Deep, coming from the chest, not thin, not nasal. How to develop? Take deep breaths. Feel your chest vibrating when you speak. 2. Volume. Neither too loud, shouting, nor too quiet, can't be heard. Adjusted to the environment and distance. 3. Intonation. Not monotone. Emphasis, pauses, variation in tone. This makes speech lively and engaging. Speaking speed. Too fast, anxiety, lack of control. Message. Listener can't keep up, gets tired. Too slow. No energy, no interest. Message. Listener gets bored, attention wanders. Optimal. Medium speed. But slowing down at critical points, emphasizing. This increases the message's impact. Practical tip: record yourself. Give a speech. Listen to it. How's my voice, my speed, my intonation? Then adjust. Speak deeper, more balanced, more effectively. Third chapter. Conclusion. Your body is talking. Are you listening? Physical presence is the most visible dimension of attraction, and most people aren't even aware of it. But now you are. Let's summarize. Body and mind affect each other. Embodied cognition. Purposeful movement comes from the center and creates a powerful appearance. Chronic muscle tensions cause energy leakage and negative signals. Eye contact should be 60 to 70%, relaxed and natural. Open hand and arm postures signal approachability. Walking and sitting posture are indicators of confidence. Voice tone and speaking speed determine auditory presence. In the next chapter, we'll look at how to build real confidence, creating an unshakable sense of self through competence and connecting through authentic curiosity. Chapter 4. Building Real Confidence and the Art of Authentic Connection. Now we're getting to perhaps the most misunderstood topic: confidence. Open social media. Be confident in 10 days. Say these 5 sentences and your confidence will explode. Think positive. Everything will fix itself. Nonsense. All nonsense. Real confidence doesn't come from Instagram motivational posts, affirmations, or looking in the mirror saying, "I'm amazing." Real confidence comes from competence. It comes from skills. It comes from knowing yourself. And most importantly, it comes from experience. Let's break down this mythological concept and look at how real confidence is actually built. What is confidence? The real definition. Most people define confidence as believing in yourself. Okay, but what does that mean? What are you believing in? Real confidence is this: evidence-based belief that I can handle challenges. Notice, evidence-based, not empty belief. A belief of the "I can do this because I've done it before" variety. I have a friend. Let's call him Thomas. The guy's a software developer. When you give him a project, he says, "I'll handle it." And he really does handle it. Why is he so sure? Because over the last 5 years, he's completed over 50 projects. He has experience. He has competence. Another friend of mine, Sophie, she constantly tries to think positive, repeats, "I'm successful, I'm powerful." But when she starts work, at the first difficulty, she panics. Why? Because there's no experience underneath, just empty affirmations. Guess which one is full of real confidence? Thomas. Competence, the concrete foundation of confidence. Competence means having real skill in an area. But be careful. You don't have to be a master in every area. It's enough to be competent in the areas you value. For example, communication skills, a sport or physical activity, a professional skill, software, design, sales, etc. Social skills, listening, empathy, leadership. A creative skill, music, art, writing. When you gain real mastery in these areas, your confidence naturally increases. Productive discomfort zone. How does competence develop? Only one way: by pushing your boundaries. Staying in your comfort zone doesn't bring growth.
Jumping into areas that are too difficult is overwhelming and exhausting. The ideal point, productive discomfort, meaning somewhat challenging but still manageable. Example: you're afraid of public speaking. Too easy. Speak to yourself in the mirror. No growth. Too hard. Give a presentation to 500 people tomorrow. Panic. Trauma. Productive discomfort. First, speak to 3 friends. Then join a 10-person group meeting. Then present to 30 people. Then 100. Step by step. At each step, a bit of discomfort, but manageable. And each successful step multiplies your confidence. Dr. Elena Rodriguez from Stanford University, in our version, let's say Berkeley, did research on this. She gave 2 groups of students difficult math problems. The first group received problems far above their level. The second group received problems that were challenging but solvable. 6 months later, they checked. The first group's confidence had dropped, motivation decreased. The second group experienced a confidence explosion. Lesson: small wins build big confidence. Knowing yourself. Recognizing your real strength and limitations. Another pillar of confidence: self-awareness. If you know yourself, if you know what you're good at and what you're weak at, you have realistic confidence. Realistic confidence means, I do this very well. This I'm still learning. Fake confidence means, I do everything. Then collapse at the first difficulty. Discover your strengths. Do an exercise. Ask yourself these questions. What topics do people frequently consult me about? This can be a clue to your natural talent. What activities make me lose track of time? These are areas where you experience flow state. What past achievements am I proud of? Evidence that increases your confidence. What qualities do people praise in me? Outside perspective. The answers to these questions reveal your strengths, and by focusing on these strengths, you can build competence. Accept your weaknesses. No one is perfect at everything, and this is completely normal. But most people deny their weaknesses or try to hide them. Result? Constant fear. I hope no one notices. Alternative? Accept them. I don't understand math very well, but I can learn. I'm initially shy in social settings, but I open up over time. I'm weak with details, but I'm good at seeing the big picture. When you accept your weaknesses, you're no longer afraid of them, and this freedom is incredibly liberating. Emotional resilience, the capacity to get up after falling. Life will knock you down. Inevitable. You'll be rejected. You'll fail. You'll be criticized. You'll experience disappointment. What matters is how quickly you can get up after falling. This is called resilience. 5 characteristics of resilient people. 1. They don't personalize failure. Non-resilient thinking: I failed because I'm worthless. Resilient thinking: it didn't work this time. Let me try a different approach. 2. Growth-oriented perspective, growth mindset. Fixed thinking: I can't do this. I don't have the talent. Growth-oriented thinking: I can't do it yet, but I can learn. 3. Emotional regulation. Negative emotions come. Normal. But they don't get caught up in them. They feel them, accept them, then take action. 4. Social support network. They don't struggle alone. They talk to people they trust, get support. 5. Meaning and purpose. Why am I doing this? What's my purpose? They have clear answers to these questions, and this purpose keeps them standing during difficulties. Resilience development exercise. Think of a difficult situation you experienced in the past. A failure, a rejection, a loss. Now ask these questions. What did I feel in this situation? Recognize your emotions. How did
I react? Analyze your behaviors. What did I learn from this experience? Extract meaning. How can I do differently next time? Growth plan. This exercise transforms past difficulties into learning opportunities and strengthens your resilience. Taking calculated risks, stepping outside the comfort zone. Confidence grows with experience. Experience comes from taking action. But most people prefer to stay safe. What if I fail? What if I get rejected? What if I embarrass myself? And the result? Trapped in the comfort zone. No growth. Confidence doesn't increase either. Alternative, take calculated risks. Calculated risk means taking smart risks, not jumping in blindly, not risking everything. Example, foolish risk. Tomorrow I'm quitting my job and going on a world tour. No plan, no savings, no safety net. Calculated risk. I'll save money for 6 months, then take a 3-month sabbatical and travel to 10 countries. There's a plan, there's a safety net. Foolish risk. I'll propose marriage right away to someone I've never talked to, but like. Calculated risk. First I'll start chatting, then I'll invite them for coffee, then I'll see about getting closer. Calculated risks grow you, but don't destroy you. Start with small risks. First step, micro risks. Say good morning to a stranger. Share your opinion in a meeting. Ask for something even if there's risk of rejection. Try a new hobby. Join a new social setting. Each micro risk adds a brick to your confidence. Over time, you become ready to take bigger risks. And that's when real growth begins. Authentic curiosity, taking real interest in people. Now, let's get to perhaps the least used but most powerful weapon of social attraction: genuine curiosity. Most people do this in social interactions. Talk about themselves. My job is this. My hobby is that. This happened to me. I think this way. And the other person? Getting bored. Because everyone wants to talk about themselves. No one wants to listen. But you do it differently. You're genuinely curious. What do you do? How did you start? What do you love most about it? What's the hardest part? And the person across from you suddenly comes alive. Because for the first time, someone is really listening. Why is curiosity so powerful? Because one of people's greatest needs is to be seen, heard, and understood. understood. Everyone thinks their own story is special, but they rarely get the chance to share it. When you show curiosity, you give them that opportunity. And the result? They find you valuable because you valued them. Superficial interest versus deep curiosity. Superficial interest. What do you do? I'm an engineer. Oh, okay, nice. And the conversation ends. Deep curiosity. What do you do? I'm an engineer. Wow, what kind of engineer? How did you get into this? What projects are you working on? What do you love about it? See the difference? Deep curiosity includes follow-up questions, goes into details, genuinely wants to learn. 4 basic rules of deep curiosity. 1. Listen without judgment. When the person says something, don't immediately say, "Ah, that's wrong." First, understand. Wonder, why do they think this way? 2. Ask open-ended questions. Closed questions, yes/no answers. Do you like your job? Open-ended questions. I'm curious what motivates you most in your work. Open-ended questions get deeper answers. 3. Listen actively. Listen not just with your ears, but with your mind. Process what's being said. Catch the emotional subtext. They said, "Our company is growing," but their voice sounds tired. Does the growth make you happy, or is it creating difficulty? 4. Show empathy. I understand. That must be difficult. That sounds like an exciting experience. I can understand how you feel. Empathy creates connection. Breaking down social barriers. Creating an environment of trust. When people first meet, they're usually wearing social masks. Politeness, superficial chat, safe topics. But real connection begins where the masks fall. So how do you drop the masks? 1. Open up a bit yourself. Show vulnerability. Be vulnerable first, but not excessively. Balanced. Example. I was pretty nervous during my presentation last week, honestly. I still can't get used to public speaking. This simple admission sends the message, this person isn't perfect. I don't have to be perfect either, to the other person. And they relax. 2. Share personal stories. Not data and information, but stories. People connect with stories. Last month I argued with a friend. Then I realized I was actually trying to be right, not to understand. I apologized. Our relationship got even stronger. Stories create empathy. 3. Find common ground. Common interests, experiences, values. You do yoga too. I've been doing it for 2 years. How does it affect you? Commonality creates closeness. 4. Create a safe space. Commit to not criticizing, not judging, showing respect for what they say. Talking with you is comforting because you don't judge. When you hear this sentence, you've succeeded. The transformative power of curiosity, expanding the world. Showing curiosity to others isn't just a gift for them, it's a gift for you too. Why? Because every person comes from a different world, different experiences, different perspectives, different knowledge. When you show curiosity, you gain access to these worlds. An example. Last year at a conference, I met an elderly man, in his 70s, a retired marine biologist. At first I thought, what will we even talk about? But I got curious. What did you learn about marine biology over the years? I asked. The man talked for 30 minutes. Ocean depths, unknown species, ecosystems. I was mesmerized. Then he said to me, "It's very rare for a young person like you to show this much interest. Thank you." Who won? Both of us. He shared his story and felt valued. I learned a whole new world. Curiosity creates mutual enrichment. Fourth chapter, conclusion. Confidence is built, not imitated. Real confidence is not superficial tricks, but a deep construction process. Let's summarize. Real confidence is evidence-based belief, comes with competence. You grow by working in the productive discomfort zone. Knowing yourself, recognizing strengths and weaknesses, provides confidence. Emotional resilience is the capacity to get up after falling. Taking calculated risks is the key to growth. Authentic curiosity connects people to you. You create an environment of trust by breaking down social barriers. Curiosity enriches both others and yourself. In the next and final chapter, we'll discuss masterfully using nonverbal communication, building non-needy and balanced connections, reading social dynamics, maintaining attraction, and integrating all these principles to become naturally attractive. Chapter 5. Mastery and Integration. Making quiet attraction a lifestyle. We've come a long way. We started with the foundations of quiet magnetism, discussed emotional stability and calm confidence, examined physical presence, looked at building real confidence. Now we've arrived at the final stage, integration. In other words, how do you turn all these principles, technical knowledge, and exercises into a lifestyle? How do you transition from trying to be attractive to being naturally attractive? That's what we'll discuss in this chapter, and more. Mastering nonverbal communication, the power of subtle influences. 93% of communication is nonverbal. We know this now. But nonverbal communication isn't just body language. It's something much more subtle, much deeper. Micro-expressions. Your face's 0.2-second truth. Dozens of tiny contractions happen in your face every second. You don't notice most of them, but the brain of the person across from you does. Dr. Marcus Chen from California Institute of Technology, in our version, let's say Caltech, has spent years studying microexpressions. His finding? When people try to hide their real emotions, leaks lasting 0.2 seconds occur in their faces. Example: someone says to you, "Your idea is great," but their mouth is smiling, their eyes aren't. For 0.2 seconds, their lips tensed slightly, eyebrows lowered. You may not consciously notice, but your instincts say something's off. What you need to do: align your internal state with your external expression, meaning not fake smiles, but real joy. Not artificial interest, but authentic curiosity. Not forced calm, but inner balance. How do you do this? Through internal work. Mindfulness, breathing, emotional regulation. We've already discussed all of these. Summary: whatever is inside you, your face will reflect. So fix what's inside. Energy and presence, the subtlest but most powerful signal. Energy is invisible, but felt. You walk into a room. There are 10 people inside. No one has spoken yet, but you already feel it. Is it a tense atmosphere or relaxed? This is collective energy. Similarly, your individual energy is also felt. Are you anxious? People don't feel comfortable. Are you calm? People feel safe. Is your energy high? People get motivated. Is your energy low? People get bored. How do you manage energy? 1. Physical health. Adequate sleep, balanced nutrition, regular exercise. Simple but critical. If sleep is under 6 hours, your energy is low, emotional balance weak, social intelligence dulled. 2. Mental hygiene. Constant negative thinking, anxiety, self-criticism drains energy. Positive mental habits: gratitude, meditation, spending time in nature. Energy rises. 3. Emotional balance. Suppressed emotions, unprocessed traumas, heavy energy. Emotional work, therapy, journaling, talking, light energy. 4. Social environment. Spending time with toxic people, energy is stolen. Time with supportive, positive people, energy rises. Energy management requires daily discipline. But the result? People feel good around you. And this is the most powerful attraction. Building non-needy and balanced connections. Now we've come to perhaps the most difficult topic: non-neediness. Because most people approach relationships with need. This person will complete me. This person will make me happy. This person will fill my void. And the result? A repelling energy. Why? Because need signals deficiency, and deficiency is not attractive. Need versus desire, the critical distinction. Need. Without this person, I'm incomplete. I want them to survive. Desire. Being with this person would be nice. I want them to enrich my life. Need, dependency, repelling. Desire, freedom, attracting. So how do you become non-needy? 1. Develop your internal resources. Stop taking your happiness, your worth, your completeness from outside. Internalize it. External source. If someone loves me, I'm valuable. Internal source. I'm already valuable. When someone loves me, that's a nice bonus. External source. If I have a relationship, I'll be happy. Internal source. I'm already happy. A relationship increases my happiness. The difference is subtle but revolutionary. 2. Abundance mindset.
Scarcity mindset. There are few good people. If I miss this opportunity, I'll never find another. Abundance mindset. The world is full of wonderful people. If not one, then another. Ultimately, I'm already fine. Abundance mindset provides relaxation and confidence, and this is attractive. 3. Generous curiosity and giving. Being non-needy doesn't mean being selfish. Quite the opposite. When you're non-needy, you can give more. Why? Because you're not expecting anything back. Let me help this person. They don't need to return it. I just want to help. This generosity draws people to you. 4. Healthy boundaries. Being non-needy doesn't mean saying yes to everything. You must have boundaries. You must protect yourself. This person is treating me disrespectfully. I don't need them, so I can walk away. Setting boundaries signals confidence and creates respect. Differentiation. Staying yourself in relationships. Most people get lost in relationships. Made a new friend? Start talking like them. Entered a romantic relationship? Give up their own hobbies. Joined a group? Accept group ideas without questioning. This is fusion. And fusion can create a sense of closeness in the short term, but destroys identity in the long term. Alternative. Differentiation, meaning staying yourself while remaining in the relationship. I don't agree with your ideas, but I respect them, and we can be together. I love this hobby. You don't. That's okay. I'll continue doing it. Differentiation is a sign of maturity and deepens relationships. Why? Because real connection is formed when two complete individuals unite, not two halves. Vulnerability and emotional intimacy. Dropping the masks. Paradox. The strongest people are those who can show vulnerability. Why? Because showing vulnerability requires confidence. I'm not perfect, and I accept this. I'm sharing it with you. This takes courage, but the result? Deep connection. How to show vulnerability. 1. Share your emotions. This situation upset me. I'm worried about this topic. I feel happy talking with you. Simple. But most people don't do it because they're afraid I'll look weak. The truth? Sharing emotions is human and connecting. 2. Acknowledge your mistakes. I was wrong. I apologize. Most people won't admit it because of ego, but admitting shows maturity and earns respect. 3. Express your needs. Right now, I want to be alone for a bit. I'd like to spend more time with you. Stating your needs is clear communication and makes relationships easier. Important. Vulnerability is equal oversharing. Not telling everything to everyone. Sharing selectively with people you trust. Managing conflicts with respect. The real test of relationships. Conflict happens in every relationship. Inevitable. What matters is how you manage these conflicts. Destructive conflict management. Yelling, insulting, bringing up the past. You're always like this. Blaming. It's always your fault. Silent treatment.
not talking. Escaping, ignoring problems. Result? Erosion of trust in the relationship. Constructive conflict management. 1. Use I language. You never listen. Blaming. I don't feel heard. I language. I language reduces defensiveness. 2. Be specific. You never help. Vague. You didn't wash the dishes last night. I got tired. Specific. Being specific provides clarity. 3. Be solution-focused. Don't get stuck on the problem. Look for solutions. How can we fix this situation? I want to find out together with you. 4. Take a calming break. If you're too tense, say, "Let's take a 10-minute break," then continue. When you calm down, you talk more rationally. 5. Show empathy. I understand you felt this way. You're right. I would have felt the same in your place. Empathy builds bridges. Relationships that manage conflicts well become stronger because they've overcome difficulties together. Reading social dynamics, seeing the invisible power. There's a group of people, formally equals, but informally, there's hierarchy. There are power plays. There are alliances. Most people don't see these, but those with high social intelligence read them in the first 5 minutes. What to watch in group dynamics. 1. Who's talking? Who's listening? Person who talks constantly but no one listens, low social capital. Person who talks little but everyone listens when they speak, high social capital. 2. Whose opinion do they care about? What does Michael think about this? Michael has influence. 3. Who's looking at whom? When a joke is made, who are people smiling at? That person is the social center. 4. Where is there tension? No eye contact, closed body language, sharp words. There's tension. 5. Are there subgroups? Is the 10-person group actually divided into 3 subgroups? Coalitions exist. When you read these dynamics, what do? You act strategically. Direct your proposal to influential people. Don't address people with tension at the same time. Show balanced interest to subgroups. Play the role of social bridge. Result? You appear socially intelligent and effective. Reducing tension and managing the group. Sometimes tension arises in groups. 2 people arguing. The atmosphere has gotten heavy. Everyone's uncomfortable. People with high social intelligence gracefully reduce this tension. Tension reduction techniques. 1. Humor, if appropriate. A light joke can relax the atmosphere, but be careful. At the wrong time, it worsens the situation. 2. Changing the subject. This topic is important, but maybe let's take a break. Let's discuss this topic. 3. Finding common ground. Actually, you both want to reach the same goal, just your methods are different. Maybe we can combine them. 4. Showing empathy. Show empathy to both sides. I understand your perspective. I understand yours, too. 5. Physical arrangement. Sometimes, even physically separating people helps. Let's go outside for a bit, get some air. The person who reduces tension is seen as a leader by the group because they've shown emotional maturity. Maintaining attraction through continuous growth. Attraction is not a destination, it's a journey. One day you don't say, "Okay, I'm attractive now, I'm done." No, you're constantly developing, constantly learning, constantly growing. Continuous learning. Mental vitality. A stagnant pond smells. A flowing river is fresh. Similarly, a mind that stops learning becomes stagnant, stops being interesting. A mind that continuously learns remains dynamic, curious, interesting. What are you learning? New skills, language, music, sports, art. New knowledge, books, podcasts, courses. New experiences, travel, people, cultures. Each new learning enriches you, and enriched people are attractive. Physical health. Long-term energy. When you're young, you can neglect your body. "I'll deal with it later," you say. But when the 40s, 50s, 60s come, physical health affects everything. Your energy level, your mental clarity, your emotional balance, your social activity. Invest in your physical health now, every day. Regular exercise, at least 3 to 4 days a week. Balanced nutrition. Less processed food, more natural food. Adequate sleep, 7 to 8 hours. Stress management. Meditation, yoga, nature. Physical health is the foundation of lifelong attraction. Creative expression, nourishing your soul. People are drawn to creative people. Why? Because creativity shows the richness of your inner world. Music, painting, writing, dance, photography, cooking, gardening, whatever it is, you must have a creative outlet. Not just consuming, but producing. This nourishes your soul, and a nourished soul radiates attractive energy. Regular self-assessment. The journey of self-knowledge. Once a month, ask yourself these questions. What did I learn last month? In what areas did I grow? In what areas did I struggle? What went well in my relationships? What went badly? How's my energy? Am I depleted or full? Am I living aligned with my values? What do I want to develop next month? This simple self-assessment increases your awareness, and awareness is the first step of growth. Rejection and criticism with grace. The peak of emotional maturity. Social life includes rejection and criticism. Inevitable. What matters is how you experience them. Don't confuse rejection with personal worth. You were rejected. Sad. Normal. But this doesn't mean I'm worthless. Maybe there was no fit. Maybe the timing wasn't right. Maybe the other person had their own issues. Rejection is an outcome, not your worth. Keep perspective. Is this rejection the end of my life? No, just an event. Do you remember that rejection 5 years later? Probably not. So don't dramatize. Say, it happened, it's over, moving on. Be open to criticism. Criticism is information. Some criticize destructively. Ignore them. Some criticize constructively. Listen. Learn. Thank you for this feedback. I'll think about it. This simple response shows maturity. Final integration. From being attractive to being naturally attractive. What's the essence of all these 15,000 words? Attraction is not techniques. It's who you are. At first, you learn techniques. Eye contact should be like this. Posture should be like this. Listening is done this way. But over time, these become internalized. You no longer think. You just do. Eye contact is natural. Posture is relaxed. Listening is genuine. Curiosity is real. Confidence is internal. And that's when mastery begins. Be authentic. Be yourself. Finally, the most important rule. Be yourself. Don't try to be someone else. Don't try to be perfect. Just be your best version. Live according to your values. Follow your passions. Accept your weaknesses. Celebrate your strengths. Continue growing. Authenticity is rare, and what's rare is valuable. Serve others. The most attractive people are people who add value. Their lives aren't just about themselves. They're about how they can contribute to others. How can I help this person? How can I improve this group? How can I add value to the world? When you live with this mindset, people naturally gravitate toward you because you're improving their lives. Finale. The lifestyle of quiet attraction. After 15,000 words, we've arrived here. Quiet attraction is not a goal, it's a lifestyle. Continuously learning, continuously growing, staying emotionally balanced, investing in physical health, valuing relationships, staying curious, being authentic, serving others. When all of these combine, natural attraction emerges. You're no longer trying to be attractive. You just are attractive. And this is the most powerful state. Final word. The journey continues. This is just the beginning. This knowledge has given you a map, but you'll walk the path. A bit more awareness every day, a bit more practice every day, a bit more growth every day. Over time, quiet magnetism will become your second nature. And then your life will change. Your relationships will deepen. Opportunities will multiply. Your confidence in yourself will increase. People will naturally gravitate toward you because you will be quietly attractive.